May 25, 1982. Four Argentinian Skyhawks roar across the Falklands, flying so low their wings almost scrape the ground. Led by Captain Pablo Carballo, the pilots are on a mission they may not survive. A desperate attack on two British warships guarding the islands. To reach their targets, they must stay beneath British radar, flying fast, low, and blind.
As the Skyhawks race toward the coast, the British destroyer HMS Coventry is already on alert. Captain David Hart Dyke has been warned that Argentinian aircraft may be inbound, but he does not yet know that his ship is the target. Inside the operations room, his radar crew calls out four fast-moving contacts. Then suddenly, they vanish behind the terrain. Hart Dyke knows exactly what that means. The enemy is approaching low, staying hidden from the Sea Dart missiles that protect the ship. He orders the crew to action stations. Alarms echo across the Coventry as sailors rush to their positions, loading weapons, powering radar, preparing for impact. Out at sea, the Skyhawks break over the coastline, pushing even lower. Their pilots have no radar, no warning systems, only their eyes and raw nerves guiding them straight toward the British fleet. As the Skyhawks sweep out from behind the island's cover, the British fleet finally spots them. On HMS Coventry, operators shout fresh warnings as two fast contacts reappear on radar, coming in low, fast, and directly toward the ship. There's no time to hesitate. Captain Hart Dyke orders his Sea Dart missile launchers to engage, and the massive turret swings toward the incoming aircraft. But there's a problem. The Skyhawks are flying so low that the radar struggles to hold a lock. Their pilots are barely meters above the waves, blasting through sea spray as they race toward their targets. Coventry's systems flicker, alarms echo through the operations room, and crews brace themselves as the missiles try again and again to find a target. All the while, the Skyhawks close the distance, fast. Their engines scream across the sea, and the coastline falls away behind them as they line up for their attack run on the British destroyer. As the Skyhawks roar in, HMS Broadsword also scrambles to respond. Her crew brings the Seawolf missile system online, a weapon designed to intercept low-flying aircraft at close range. The operators watch their screens intensely as the Skyhawks tear across the sea, kicking up white spray behind them. Their speed is incredible, too fast, too low, too dangerous to track cleanly. For a moment, the Broadsword crew gets a lock. The Seawolf launchers rotate toward the incoming jets, ready to fire. But then, something unexpected happens. At the very edge of their radar, the two Skyhawks split apart, breaking formation and diving even lower. The system hesitates. The radar glitch causes the missile guidance to freeze, and in a flash, the lock is gone. Broadsword's operators shout for a reboot. Alarms flare, and the ship turns hard to clear its firing arc. But it's already too late. The Argentinian jets streak toward the British ships with nothing in their way. As Carballo and his wingmen close in on the British ships, the sea around them erupts with gunfire. HMS Coventry's deck guns flash violently, and sailors line the railings, firing rifles and machine guns as the Skyhawks roar in low. Tracers slice through the air, streaking dangerously close as the jets skim just above the waves. Carballo quickly realizes the British fire is too accurate. Coventry's aim tightens, water explodes around them, and continuing straight would be suicide. In a split-second decision, he orders a change of target. The two Skyhawks bank sharply away from Coventry and dive toward Broadsword instead. As they level out, both pilots release their 1,000-pound bombs. The massive weapons slam into the ocean and skip across the surface like stones. One sinks harmlessly beneath the waves, but the other smashes into Broadsword's hull, punches up through the deck, and flies out the opposite side before tumbling back into the sea without exploding. The British crew is stunned. They were seconds from disaster, and the attack is far from over. Behind them, another pair of Skyhawks races in. Led by First Lieutenant Mariano Velasco, these planes carry smaller but far more reliable 250-kilogram bombs. On Coventry, alarms scream as operators detect the second wave. Captain Hart Dyke orders a hard turn to starboard, trying to give his ship a clean missile shot. Radar crews finally get a lock on Velasco's jet. The Sea Dart turret rotates, ready to fire. Hart Dyke gives the order. A Sea Dart erupts from Coventry's deck, streaking into the sky.
But at the same moment, Velasco drops even lower, nearly scraping the ocean surface. Spray blasts against his canopy as he pushes the Skyhawk to its limits. Coventry's missile loses its lock and shoots off into empty sky. The Argentinian jets thunder onward, completely untouched. Aboard Broadsword, missile operators fight to reboot the Seawolf system. Screens flicker back to life just in time, and they manage to lock on to the incoming jets. The launcher turns, ready to fire, until the radar suddenly shows a new problem. Coventry has unintentionally maneuvered directly in front of Broadsword's firing line. The operator shouts in disbelief. They can't take the shot without hitting their own destroyer. They try to reposition, but it's too late. The Skyhawks are already upon them. Velasco lines up his attack run, the hull of Coventry filling his view. The destroyer unleashes everything it has, cannons, machine guns, rifles, but nothing can stop the incoming jets. Velasco fires his 20mm cannons, ripping a stream of shells across Coventry's deck and superstructure. Sailors dive for cover as sparks and debris scatter across the ship. Velasco releases his bombs. They fall cleanly from his wings and slam into Coventry's hull with a deep, hollow impact. For a few long seconds, nothing happens. Some aboard the ship begin to rise, unsure if the bombs failed like before. Then the world explodes. Both bombs detonate deep inside the destroyer. The first blast tears through the operations room, killing operators instantly and sending fire ripping through passageways. The second explosion detonates near the engine room, destroying power and sending a massive shockwave through the hull. Systems fail, lights die, and Coventry begins to list sharply to one side. Captain Hartdyke regains consciousness amid smoke, darkness, and screams. He tries the intercom. It's dead. He stumbles through collapsing corridors as the ship groans beneath him. When he finally reaches the deck, he expects chaos. Instead, he finds discipline. Coventry's crew is performing a near-perfect evacuation under fire. Sailors pull the wounded from smoke-filled cabins. Others hurl life rafts overboard and help each other into survival gear. The ship rolls further, seawater sweeping across her tilting deck. One by one, her sailors jump, swim, or are carried into the rafts. Soon, only Captain Hartdyke remains. He walks across the slanted hull of his dying ship, looks back one final time, and steps into the last raft. Moments later, Coventry capsizes and slips beneath the waves of the South Atlantic. Rescue helicopters and Broadsword rush to pull survivors from the freezing water. In total, 170 British sailors survive the attack. 19 lose their lives. All 4 Argentinian pilots return safely to base. Celebrated as heroes, their strike delivered devastating damage, but the outcome of the war would not change. The Falklands conflict would grind on, leaving scars far deeper than the smoke rising from the sea.